Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, I looked like yesterday. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. When I said I needed to go to the emergency room, I was telling the truth. But now that I am under the full understanding that I am definitely moving. I am going to be going to medical care when I get where I'm going. I was so unwell yesterday, and I couldn't even function. But I went to sleep. My neighbor, sometime like maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock, called me, and I was sleeping. And I asked her, did she have a gas bill? And she said, yeah. So I went down to her house, and Lord knows I didn't want to go, leave the apartment and blow a gasket in the hallway somewhere. But I'm not sure, but I believe my nose is starting to bleed again. So hopefully not. But the gas pill absolutely helped me. And she had some rice from the China market, and if I'm not mistaken, it had some type of rib in it, or whatever. But I was exhausted, and I laid down in my bed because I told her I was just coming to the door and leaving. I did not want to step foot in her house because I had an issue. And she was like, "No, you have to come in here and get something to eat. You have to bring me a bowl." No, no, no. So I'm like, "All right." I really think my nose is bleeding, so I'm gonna, yeah, I believe it's bleeding. So I got the rice, came upstairs, and laid down. But I kid you not, I am really and truly exhausted with trying to eat. So I did a very I did a lot of details about what. So basically, what you see me eating was not what I was supposed to be eating. So there goes the sausage. No sausage, no bacon, no processed meat. So most of it, I just packed the bag last night, and I got it out of here. I need to. I am so freaking happy. I'm so freaking happy. And one of the reasons why I'm really happy is that there is a lot of complaints now about having to pay your rent using some type of app that costs you more money. So I did not know, what the process was on that end. And so all I have to do is make a bank check. So my auto pay, my bill pay can pay my rent. So there goes a money order and stamp and an envelope I saved. So I'm so happy. But I will get a call on Monday. So what I'm gonna actually do today is pack my vehicle. Pack my vehicle to the best of my ability. I'm barely able to do much of anything because I am literally raw. I'm raw. So it's hard for me to sit down. It's hard for me to wear clothes. It's hard for me to do everything. But there's really nothing you can do when you're just washing yourself over and over and over. And it is what it is. But IBS is terrible. So and do all of what I went through, and this has been ever since I had gastric bypass that I've been dealing with this. I just didn't realize it was as severe as me killing my own self. So by the food that I put on my table and what I thought was healthy for me, like the cabbage and the extra garlic and the extra onion, was a no-no. So although I did hear before I had the operation something to the effect and the gas would be bad and things like that, they never said you can't eat corn for the rest of your life. Because if I knew that, I would have never did it. No one would have been able to do that to me if I knew I couldn't eat corn. So it is so that is my favorite food. And one thing I didn't think I would ever have to give up was mixed vegetables because that's how I get in all of the little whatevers that come in the bag. So sweet peas, corn, no. The one thing I don't want is green beans. Green beans, yes. So here I am, like, okay, who's gonna make a pot of green beans and put it on the table and eat it? Me? No, absolutely not. So I'm like, okay, all the green beans, all of the corn, and all of the mixed vegetables, and then I'm eating cauliflower rice. No cauliflower rice. Why? Because it's causing me to have that insane amount of body activity. So I'm like, okay, now the butternut squash, a little bit of butternut squash. So I say, okay, well, when you say little bit, you might as well say none because anything that can cause me to deal with what I've been dealing with, no, I'm not doing that. I have been in my bed and I'd be knocked out sleep, and it's like somebody got a body in here somewhere that's been roasting. So I'm like, I can't continue to live like this. So I've been trying to change the way I eat, not thinking it's the coffee, and it is milk, lactose, all of that stuff there. So I have been contemplating for a while if I was going to let go of this YouTube channel because I looked at my stats. I looked at my stats quite often, and where the hustle and grind is on this channel is food. I don't know how to continue to have food on this channel that I can't eat. I mean, there's a few options that could make sense, but then there's a few that doesn't. So I don't know what to do, but I do know that I will not be able to eat. I can eat chicken, and whatever you saw me cook last night, that chicken was delicious. So that's basically my agenda going forward, chicken. So I don't think I can really get by on chicken, not knowing that I can't have fried chicken anymore. I already did the breaks on that one, but I'm actually suffering with not having it, fried chicken. That damn crunch that I get in that, no. So I feel, and I truly wish there was a way that I could cook and then have someone in my home eating the food, like Rachel Ray or somebody. So I could do what I want to do, but logically speaking, to put uh, beef and cheese and pasta on my stove damn near killed me. So I didn't realize, but I was going crazy in the end. And of course I have leftovers in the refrigerator, so I'm gonna take the leftovers out and I'm gonna eat. But I'm like, where is this? Why is this? And not knowing that it's what I was choosing on the stove. But one of the reasons why I'm not upset is because I do understand one thing. I can live in happiness and joy right now, eating all of my favorite foods, my Lay's potato chips, and all of the goodies, and I'm going to pay for it when I'm a senior, and I'm already a senior, but you know what I mean. I'm going to pay for it then, and nobody is obligated to take care of me. And it is already proven without a shadow of a doubt that a cured patient is a loss of income. So if nobody can understand that, I can. I can. So what I have to do is remember that I love myself. And although I did want those Lay's potato chips when I was offered yesterday, I said no, thank you. I have to love myself today as if I'm loving myself tomorrow. And that's it. It is a transition that your mind will go through, and you will shed some damn tears, honey, especially if you like a Reese's Pieces cups, huh? But so when I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I can't get out of bed, it's because of the way I'm eating. But I knew that a long time ago. I just didn't know the real magnitude to what you put in your mouth is what you are. So when I hear people say you are what you eat, well, they mean it a lot more than I could have comprehended it. So what I'm doing now, and I haven't really said anything to anyone that's around me outside of my mother. I was in my mother's house a couple of days ago, and I had to jump up, and I'm like, I'm going home. And she's looking at me, and I said, I just can't stay here any longer. But then last night I had to go to my sister, and my sister said she put the dog up so I could go into her house. I'm like, and I'm afraid of dogs. But anything related to a pit bull, you don't even have to wonder if I'm afraid of it. Yes, we have already seen what dogs will do, and you can say what a dog won't do if you want to. Unless you're in that dog's head, nah, I'm not. I'm not trying to hear you. Of course, I do understand there are some gentle, but there is always the chance a dog can attack you. And I just saw an attack on Facebook. I shared it actually, but soon as I got to the second level where I was gonna go to third, I was like, I put the shopping cart down. I said, right down the stairs. But guess what? I made it to my elevator before my body started singing a song. So I said, and then I said, I'm not going to nobody's house like that. So at least I have that kind of respect, right? But your girl is happy. Your girl is happy. Now the only thing is, oh my goodness, worse and worse. I got one estimate for a moving truck, It's 3,000 and change. So, uh, and with his estimate, he was supposed to come in and pack everything for me. I wasn't supposed to pack anything on my own, but I wasn't able to just allow someone just to go rifling through my things. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So I got that estimate this morning, and then I got another one yesterday that must have came to me through text or something, but I didn't get it. And so what I did was I'm looking at my phone because I messaged someone to ask them for some money, and I don't care what it is. It's the fact that I have a friend who's going to pack her vehicle so she can get it up there, but I need to make sure I have gas going back and forth, and I need to put something in her hand for her generosity. So I have like maybe three people so far with a vehicle, but we need a truck because logically speaking, it took me a very long time to get that couch from Wayfair to review. So I can easily say, well, I do have access to getting a couch, so I can just let that one go. But I'm not going to use that mind state. I'm going to get me a truck. Why? Because my dresser is coming with me. So even if I wasn't taking the couch, I'm still taking that dresser. So there goes that. So I need a truck. I need a truck. So and then I'm hearing people say get that $20 truck from with those people, but that's not going to be $20. I did it before. It was $900 when we finished moving. We went back and forth, and the total cost for that 1999 truck was $900. And locally, that's a lot of money because I paid a clean 1,000 going to Miami, and I paid that out of my pocket. So it was clean 1,000, but they stole a lot of my stuff. And then after they dropped my stuff off, and I contacted them to let them know I'm missing cases of cleaning supplies, and they just blocked my number, wouldn't even answer. I couldn't do anything. Why? I was there already. They are here. So I don't want to deal with that. Mm-mm. But I am so excited. I was supposed to find out Friday, and Friday I didn't get the message. And then yesterday I was feeling so unwell, and I'm in here going through it. And then this morning I had a message that arrived after whatever. And I'm like, see, now that's the type of person that I could deal with. That's not stuck on the clock. You understand? So it is what it is. So I'm just so happy because I need to get my craft room together. I need to have my hands mingling around in my favorite toys. Oh my goodness. I don't know where I was when I was lost and I saw Hobby Lobby. But I wish I could have just walked in Hobby Lobby. But oh my goodness. Everybody is not everybody. Sometimes I hate the way I have to reframe the way I speak because when I say everybody, I could say everybody and it doesn't mean everybody. But God forbid if I was saying, everybody to the wrong mind state or whatever, not saying wrong, but generally, and that's not, and I'm like, ugh, it's like a record, like, because it was just literally a figure of speech, so I'm dealing with a certain happiness and a certain sadness. And life is life. I love everybody. You hear me? I love everybody. Yes, right. Everybody. But I am so freaking happy that I'm sitting here and my stomach is at peace, boys and girls. Yesterday, oh my goodness, I kid you not. Yesterday, when I stood up yesterday, my stomach was like right here. It was like round, like this, and I'm like, and it was like, it was like, and then this morning when I woke up, and I'm looking at my stomach and I'm feeling my stomach. I'm like, okay, so we came back to life. But you know what, boys and girls, I'm kind of like worried, and I have a migraine. I have a migraine, and I'm kind of worried because I honestly do not want to lose any weight. And I have lost weight where I can feel my underclothes and stuff like that. You could tell when you lose weight when your panties don't fit the same. So I don't honestly want to lose weight. I want to structure myself to where my body starts to tone up. I can't tone my lower body too much because it's just not possible. I don't have the physical strength to do it. But even my neighbor said she noticed my arm. So I'm like, all right, the Tai Chi is in the bag, boys and girls. But I don't know if anyone's seen that video. Let me see if anybody's seen that video. I don't even see that video. I'm gonna do Tai Chi. Oh, four people saw that video and one like. So thank you. So I'm going to do the Tai Chi, but I don't know if they're gonna let me record in my gym, but I'm going to ask permission before I do it. But there's this machine that I used to get on at the gym, and I wasn't able to do the machine, but I would still get on it. Even if I did it for 2 minutes, I did do 2 minutes. So I am so excited because my building has that machine, and I'm going to jump on it and see. Now my rowing ride is not here. I no longer have my rowing ride, and I wasn't going to. Uh, I was in a position where someone had just came out the hospital, so I am working on getting to the point where I can literally say, okay, well that's that, and this is this, and I am here, and the answer is whatever. But I'm not there yet. So whatever the case may be, my rowing ride is not here any longer. So there goes that. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this cream. Uh, this right here knocked the migraine out a couple days ago, but yesterday it didn't do too well. And what I actually want to do, I do want to do. Ooh, where's it go? If you're wondering what this is, it's lidocaine cream. That's all I can tell you. It's lidocaine cream, and yes, I'm getting relief. Wipe my hand off. Yes, I'm getting relief. I don't understand how it's so I'm going to the doctor, and I'm just gonna let them know I need a whole I need a checkup of everything. But it is what it is. I'm just so excited. I am so excited. When I look in that living room, I'm horrified. And when I look in that craft room, I'm horrified. I don't know how, where, nah. And I don't know how I can downsize more than I've already downsized. Because I kid you not, I did a lot of downsizing. But if I was to go in that living room and you would see what's in there, you'd be like, where is it going? And it is perfectly fine because it's not going in the garbage. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of my craft supplies in there, and I'm not throwing out any more craft supplies. I done passed on. Even yesterday, I had passed on to this little lady that was in here, loving up in here. So she was perfect. Now, had there had been another little person in here, and then they would have got a too. So yesterday, about maybe 2 packs of paper, I said, can you carry this? And she was like, yes. And I was like, well, can you use this? And I said, I would really like her to have this for her bracelets. And she was like, thank you. And I was grateful. You know why? Because I can see the gratitude on her face that she's getting it. I couldn't focus on where it was going to go if it was leaving here, but nobody who really loves the things that they do just wants somebody to take it and then put it on the table for sale. No, that little girl loved the bracelets, and me and my friend, and I'm like, well, now you have a start. So yesterday I did not want to figure out where those 2 packs of paper was going to go. I have other paper that I looked under the bed yesterday to try to make sure I pull everything from under the bed. And why is there a case under there that is almost, I am almost positive there's a case of paper. So I'm going to pull it out today, and I'm going to say to the lady, I apologize, but I have another case of paper. And this time I'm going to offer to go to her and to meet her, somewhere on her side, because she's in another town. She's 2 towns from me. So I am almost positive that's a case of paper, and I don't want to take it. What I also don't want to take is my 2 fans, but both those fans cost me over $80. Those are very good turbo fans. So I said, since the electricity is included, I could ask them to turn the air down to a little notches down, and then or whatever to save the building, and then turn my fan on in the far corner, and then let the fan circulate. I do love the open concept. That's what I wanted for like a lot of years. Now I'm trying to think to myself, okay, I already don't use my oven that often. I might have made a muffin or two, a couple times meatloaf, but I really wouldn't want to use my oven in there and heat up my bedroom space. I don't think I could do it. So I'm going to take my time and figure out some things. I do have my one pot, and I did want a coffee maker. I do want the coffee maker, and I want like a basic pot that I could put one of them refillable coffee things. But I want to have my coffee indulgence um, as often as I can. And now that I know I can use plant-based milk, I don't want to refuse myself a pleasure uh, if I don't have to. So I do want that. And then I figured out I could get my washing machine and dry it. I could go to the store or I could order on the computer. But then I realized I don't want to use a firm to get it. Although a firm and I have been great friends, but a firm is credit regardless, and credit is at a interest fee regardless. So if I'm truly going to work on what I've been working on for myself, being debt free and not having anyone owing anyone any interest, then I need to really figure out, and I can't figure out until I'm in the apartment for about maybe 5 days, but I really need to figure out how I can save on my own for my washer. I don't want to dryer, but I do say dryer, wash and dryer because it's set. But I want to be able to walk into the store and pay cash, or use my bank account and then just pay cash, so I don't have any interest fees and any payments and that type of thing. I am extremely happy that this month, when my check comes, which is in a couple days, I will be paying another one of these tickets. And after that, I will be building uh, in a jar or something to pay off the next one, because the next one is almost $300 and they want the whole ticket, at one time. But being that I have been printing the, no, being that I have been watching the site and then they send me a paper to show me the balance, and I take the paper and I put it on this wall, I'm able to see the little bit of increase that they're doing over time. So I have to nip it in the bud, and I'm proud that I'm almost done with that. But my Affirm bill is now, I think, under 300 or under 400, but if I'm not mistaken, it's under 300. Now, just say I wasn't moving, I didn't have to give, and I would be able to say, okay, let's knock this off. But when Affirm is done, I'm literally debt free, because I owe no one interest, and the little bit of stuff I have that I will knock out, I will knock out. But it's unfortunate that I learned a valuable lesson about people through pain, and I don't have any regrets, boys and girls. I don't have any regrets. I feel so great, because when they say, when a person shows you who they are, just accept it, they mean it. They mean it. They mean it. So I have no regrets. I'm not angry in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I say is that when I go into my unit, I just want to be left alone. I don't want my phone ringing, you know, any of those things. And I really don't know if I'm going to be on social media, because I need to just rest. My full intention was to get at the stove and cook and make my videos. So you will see a video from me, even if it's me just turning over an empty pan. And that's just to let you know that I am in the door. That's it. When you see me on my stove and you see the stove is glass, then that's just to let you know I am in the door. So I will hear Monday. I'm getting a call Monday about to move in. So now some people let you move in as soon as you get the approval that it's yours, and some people wait for this specific date. But the blessing is Monday I get to make a decision with the phone company which day I'm gonna be there for them to put the phone on, because that's what I wanted. But it is what it is. I messaged my neighbor because I need some tea, and wow, right? now you saw my message. I just turned the phone on. Just turned the phone on. He just did the check said boom. So he saw my message. So now he has to show himself if he's the decent type of man. Because every time he tried to offer me money, I always said no. And he used to get upset. I'm offering. I'm just trying to make sure. Well, guess what, honey? Now I need it. So if you really was trying to make sure I was good, now you can. So there goes that. Now I haven't seen him or heard from him or anything like that, but I did put, I know it has been months, but it is what it is. So there goes that. I am so thankful, so thankful because guess what? I have been sitting here trying to do the best I can, and I I wasn't accepted for the process that my life is going in. And I don't like hearing, you have to live your life. You can't do this. No, 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 no. I can do it. If I choose to, I can do it. All I have to do is just say no. And that's it. So when I'm here, I didn't feel comfortable, and I just made sure I just stopped, just stop. And there was even a time I got a phone call. I want to come and see how you doing. Okay, I'll meet you in the lobby. I'll be down in 20 minutes. When will you be here? And after that, the call didn't come. But you know what? I was dealing with a health issue that I didn't want anyone to know of. And I didn't want to be in here where I couldn't release air that I needed to. My doctor said if you hold that air in, you could die. So there was times I was in here and I was like, oh my goodness, and I would run to the bathroom and I would run to the bathroom. I even had a friend here. He was my ex. I don't like to say friends when it was someone that I was sleeping with, but that is still too much information. But that's my ex, but I choose not to say it now because we are friends. So he would be like, girlfriend, just go, let it out. You don't have to run. Yes, I do, honey, because I don't want to charge for killing you up in here. But I would never purposely pass that type of air around somebody. But I'm so thankful because now that I'm leaving, there are quite a few people that will not be having access to me when I leave. And I have to come back here to go to the doctor, so everyone's still going to see me, and stuff like that. And it's not a big secret because the world's going to know where I'm moving, today, matter of fact, because I didn't know when I could change my address here, there, and there. And if I'm going to stay on YouTube, there's no way that I'm going somewhere to hide in a bubble. It's not. I'm just moving to better my life, put it that way. So it is what it is. But I'm so thankful that a part of my life that I was having trouble with is over. It's completely over. So when they say the person understands the assignment, they understands the assignment. So I'm gonna tell you something. No, no. I'm gonna have to tell Tina, and I'm not gonna explain anything. I'm just gonna send her a word so she'll understand, and that's it. Because she has been praying for me. I do believe she's been praying for me. I know she genuinely understands what this move means to me. But I feel so good knowing that I have so many chances to just walk outside, and I don't even understand. No one will understand what it would mean to me to just walk outside and not feel like a gun is going to trigger. Now, it could happen anywhere. We're not going to play in the sandbox, and I'm not going to play with Jimmy Jackass. It could happen anywhere. But the crime rate where I live and the murder rate where I live, I don't need anyone to tell me anything about it could happen on this place. I know it could, but when you look out your window because you heard it and you see someone shot and run across and drop down, tell me what you're supposed to tell me after you see that. That's it. After you see that, because I will never be okay. I will never be okay. Every time I hear an ambulance, every time I hear a fire truck, every time my whole internal nervous system is gone. Nobody can tell me anything. I laid in my bed and I heard few gunshots, and I'm like, and as soon as I heard them, I jumped up in my bed and like, where is my child? I just screamed, and then a few minutes later, I found out that was my brother. So there is no one can understand how I feel here not being able to really go in a store in a corner because everyone's looking at me. I still hear people whisper because they didn't know that was my brother. I was in the house that much that people were like, "Why is she like why?" And I had to hear someone that I went to school with ask somebody, "Why is she crying?" Like, and he said that was her brother. I'm like, "What?" So it is what it is. But I have had a little bit of relief in my internal system knowing that I'm leaving here, but I couldn't stay here. I couldn't stay here. I actually see now why people say when they have some type of trauma in their home, like a passing of a child in their home, that they can't stay there. I actually see it now because I couldn't stay here. Mm-mm, couldn't stay here. But the beautiful thing is, and I kid you not, no one can take the joy from me that I had in here with my brother after he passed. He stood right here in this doorway while I was trying to sleep, so I was chatting it out. My bed was in the other room and he was in that room and I could see him at the door. I saw a massive, a sparkly butterfly on my front door. That's why you will always see a butterfly in my life. But right after he passed, I was laying in my bed and something made me not lay at the head of my bed, but lay at the foot of my bed. And I was just laying there and I was crying and I saw this massive butterfly by my front door and it was sparkly and it was shimmering. I'm like, and to make sure I saw what I was seeing, my head was down. I lift my head up to make sure, because sometimes you don't believe stuff, and it's okay what we believe, and we are entitled to believe what we believe. But there is no one can tell me what I believe when I see it with my own eyes. So there was another time I was laying on my bed, and then there was some spoons in my kitchen just on the floor. And I'm like, I know you in there messing around with me, boy. What you want in here? So I'm in here just lollygagging. And there was another time that I was crying because I was missing him. And then he whispered in this ear, "Please don't cry." And I stopped crying instantly. And then I realized he's with me. Why would I want him to see me like that? Especially if I believe that he's in a better place. So that day was the last day at that moment for a long time that I cried, especially since I heard him. Then another day I was in here and he whispered in this ear, "Call mommy." But I didn't call my mother. I didn't get up at that moment to call my mother. I was going to call her, but I knew I heard his voice, and it was so beautiful that I heard his voice. But then I guess I didn't call soon enough, and then my phone rang, and when I picked up my phone, it was my brother's name on the caller ID. So I had to call my mother to ask her, did she, and she was like, no. And so everybody was really, happy to hear that. But another time I was in the living room and my bed was in the living room because I have a hard time sleeping in bedrooms, boys and girls. I always need the living room. I kid you not. There is a peace that comes over me in the living room. So I am really excited because I was going to move my bed back into the living room over here. But I was in the living room and I was laying down and my brother was sitting on the edge of my bed and we were talking back and forth as if I'm talking back and forth to you. And then my hand, because I was gonna call my mother, and then just click the phone, and he said, "If you pick up the phone, I have to leave." So I just instead of like my hand reaching like this, I opened my hand like this, put my hand back on the bed, and I stayed there talking to my brother. But I know a lot of people don't believe, and that's your issue. Please don't share that information with me because I don't need anyone putting any dampness on my sunshine. But there were so many times that he was here with me. But when it came down to a personal situation that I was going through with a person, I went to him and I went in my living room where he is on the wall, and I said, "I need help with this, and I need help with this because." If I'm moving in one direction and I know what I don't want, but the forces are still sending me there, I need to figure out why I'm being sent here when my direction is there. So then I started having some awareness and I was realizing. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But I kid you not, no matter what a person says to you, you don't really know how to handle a situation unless you have access to it. Because when a person is magnetized in your mind, like I can't even explain it. You just can't explain it. But I am really hoping and praying something really uh, good. So I can only say so. That's it. But I will be packing my vehicle today. Mm, I need to. My brother checked my GPS and it says that something like some disc or something. I have that thing that goes down in the car, so when I go down, I'm gonna push it in. But I don't know why that little disc thing keeps coming out. That's what I don't know. So, but I'm gonna try to do the first ride on my own. But I have to have a gas cushion in my car because I don't know if I'm gonna get lost. But I'm gonna try to do that first ride on my own. When they say come pick up the keys, I'm on my way. On my way because hmm I am so freaking happy, boys and girls, but I really need a cup of tea. I need a cup of peppermint tea, and I'm so thankful because when I did all of what I was doing and to check, and I'm like, I needed, and it's the peppermint tea. That's why I felt so good when Tina sent me that container of tea. Yeah, so now I can change my Amazon address because I wasn't sure if I wanted to change my Amazon. Uh-oh, no, 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 no. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. MJ, the package you asked me about yesterday, now I get to tell her she can mail it. Oh, thank you. Where is she at? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm. 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 Yes, so I did that. Now, another thing, boys and girls, I am really happy because I have really, 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 really been intentional about everything, and I am desperate to get some crafting supplies that I have already seen. And when I say that, I mean some just some of my little toys to play with. So I didn't want to order anything in this address here, but they have two cameras now over the mailbox, so I don't believe anyone's packages are being stolen. But it still doesn't matter because I didn't know whether I was going to be here and it was going to be on its way, and then I didn't want to do that situation knowing that I would have to come back so far, you know. And when I say far, it's not really far, but it's a distance that I'm not willing to do, you know, unnecessarily because I'm not good. I'm not good driving like that every day. I'm capable. I love getting on the road, but I've never been a traveler. So I like to stay home. But there is one thing. I blocked someone a few weeks ago. I don't know if they're still watching my channel, but if they are, oh well. This morning, I said I was going to unblock, and just send the person my address so they can pop up when they get ready to pop up. But I was insulted when he commented on the fact that I sleep a lot, and it just made me feel a certain type of way, and I didn't feel like having to explain, that I'm just tired, and I just did a gentle block. I know what block means to people when they have no access to having explanation, but I have explained so much so long that I am just tired. When I say I'm tired, I'm tired. So this morning I said I was going to unblock him and send him my address. No, 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 nothing. Just the address, and then he can read it, the writing on the wall on his own. But if he walks through my door and I get to just put my arms around him and just and give him a hug, I'll be so happy because he is someone that I really truly respect and admire. That's it, because he is a man of full, I don't know what it is, but he's single. So if y'all want his number and he says it's okay, y'all can have it. But You will never have to wonder where he is when he walks out away from you. I can tell you that. And if a woman is loyal to herself, she's a good man for him, good woman for him. Because if he say he's here, he's there. You could secretly, and I could tell you how to track somebody. I can send me all your money. Yes, the girl is working. But I kid you not, he's a really good guy, really good guy. And I'm really sorry I did it, but I had no choice. And I was crying when I heard the words come out of his mouth because he is too highly educated. And I'm not saying awards and all that. I'm just saying in general to say something like that to someone that you clearly can see has no control over what they're dealing with health wise. So I did find out that part of my exhaustion, which is coming from fibromyalgia, is also coming from the IBS that I'm dealing with because it feels, and when I hear people say um, exhaustion feels like you're dying, to hear it to see it in a medical form being described, I couldn't believe it because that's exactly what it feels like. And then to lay in your bed and you start peeing on yourself and you can feel you're peeing on yourself and you know you're peeing on yourself and you know you're the only one to have to wash some damn sheets, but you still can't get up. And then you say, I can't do this, I'm not. And you roll on the floor and bust up your knees and things. Stuff like that is not cute. But it's a part of life. And I learned a very long time ago, I am not going to hide who I am. Absolutely not. I don't care. I went into my friend's house a few days ago, and when she was sitting on the couch, she referenced to the fact that she was wearing a diaper. Now, I have known for a few years she wears diapers. Why? Because she was the one that told me what to put in my car to make sure I was good. So I have my bag of pads. Y'all saw me wash my hands the other day and my wipes and everything. So I'm like, I didn't know why she had to say that to me because it didn't matter that what she was wearing. She was in her home. The only thing she wasn't going to do was walk around me in that diaper. Not because of the diaper, because her flesh was out and I don't want to see anybody's flesh. You know, I try to keep my cookies to myself. So that's it. So that was it. But I was so, thankful because I didn't realize I was having a problem trying to find some way to go to the bathroom a few times. And one day she said to me, she said, just put you some of those wet pads or something in your car. So I'm like, and then at the time I was getting them delivered to my house. So I'm like really happy. Now I didn't get any last month, but this month I got a phone call and I didn't know who it was, but something said answer the phone and it was like they were doing a delivery for my incontinence supplies. And I'm like, and I said, can I give you a new address? So I gave them the address and supposed to ship out on the 28th, but I'm not sure if they would have to go through the doctor and change the address. But I didn't change the address with the doctor because even though I changed the address to the phone, the insurance company, and stuff like that, I said, maybe I should just hold off a little bit and just wait for confirmation. And so today's Sunday, and confirmation came to me last night while I was sleeping. So there goes that. But I tell you, I can tell you right now, I am so tired of crying, but I'm afraid to eat. And that's where the other risk of health comes from because if you don't eat and you let your body produce gas, but the one food that I can eat is white rice, and I don't want to eat white rice because white rice puts me to sleep. But I want some rice from the Chinese market, some rice and the ribs, because I think she had like little baby back ribs or something. That's what it tastes like. But I really want some rice because I was able to settle with something in my stomach. But it's hard to know that if something has an egg in it, you can't eat it. So when I had to stop eating my banana nut bread, my banana nut muffins, it took me a lot because I loved them banana nut muffins. It was a reward that I treated myself with. And then I had to get to the point where I said, you can't reward yourself with something that's going to show you where you stand later on. So I'm just like wondering now, what am I actually supposed to eat when everything in my refrigerator I can't eat? And a couple of days ago, I handed the yogurt to my neighbor because when I researched, I'm like, am I still dealing with this? Come to find out, I thought Greek yogurt or organic yogurt was gonna be okay. No, I can't eat yogurt, and that's it. So I would really like to go to the Dollar Tree and get me some oat milk or something, and just make me a coffee to feel like I have some part of my life. But I have such a good blessing that it was just dumped in my lap, and I kid you not, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry because every single day I remind myself that God provided my shelter for me. And I know a lot of people don't believe, and that's okay. And I don't have anything to convince anyone of. I love everybody. But to know that I didn't believe, and I had to open my eyes and ask myself, what is it that who? Because I felt something, and I'm like, I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I was going through things, and I was able to see. And now, what brings me joy is that I can see God working in someone else's life that cannot see it. But it's not for me. It's not for me to step into someone else's business and stuff. So I remind myself every day I will say out loud, if my mind is going somewhere and I'm feeling compassion and stuff, it's okay to feel compassion, but it's not okay to fix. So I'm working on me. So I'll say it's not my business. So there's another situation someone's going through, and I was gonna offer. I said, it's not my business. If they want some fixing, they will ask. If they don't ask, I'm not going to volunteer. So there are times that I could be talking to someone, and when I realize I'm about to, offer a salute, I'm like, oh, and I stop and I listen. So I'm thankful because there are times people say, "Are you there?" And I'm like, "I'm listening." And I am a chatterbox. So if you have to say, "Are you there?" then you know I'm doing a great job for myself by listening. So it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Uh, a few years I have been dealing with my daughter's outbursts, but it wasn't as soft as it was when you saw it a couple days ago in my video. It was worse. She literally told people that I was giving her husband a special event, and it almost killed me. And no, I never put my hands on her. Half the time I ignored her, and it was hard, boys and girls. It was hard because anyone else in my airspace would have closed this up and took all of this out. But the one thing I held me down the entire time with all of what I went through was the fact that there was no way in the world I was going to walk myself to prison. Because even with all of what I've been through, everything people could see, there will be no judge that would give me leniency if I would have snapped and my mind would have took over. So I did everything I could to back off. And now I am extremely happy because when I go into my apartment, no one can get in unless I come out of my apartment and go downstairs and open the door to let you in. So when I say I love where I'm going, I love where I'm going. I don't think there's a chance that anyone would be able to cause me bodily harm and I not defend myself that will not be caught on camera. I believe every ounce of that building has a camera. And when I say ounce, I mean when you pull up in the front. So I hope people understand the assignment because these buildings that are being put up in the future, they're going to be put up with AI, and AI has an eye. You may not even see. So you, even in this building, if you go in the hallway, you can see where they're putting all the cameras up. But I have always said, to the best of my ability, I would be quiet once I left my apartment because when other people are in their apartments, you can hear them on the phone, you can hear them talking and stuff. So that means they can clearly hear you too. So I love what I see happening because it is protection. Your lifestyle will determine how you feel as far as the privacy measure. I'm not saying that people should be able to just take away your privacy, but when I am a woman of health concerns and I'm thinking, well, this is going to protect me if I fall down, somebody will be able to see and call 911. I have every right to think that way because I have every intention to live alone, even if I get married. I am not never. I'm never living with anyone. Hell no. Mm-mm. I'm in these groups, boys and girls. Mm-mm. Hell no. Yesterday somebody posted that they went on the computer and they saw something that their husband was doing that they had no idea of. And this is why I always say you can marry someone, but if you start dictating who they are based on how you feel, and we all are human, so no one is flawed, then we have an aspect of some type of pain that we caused on our own. So there goes that. And when she was like, should I? I'm like, you already know the answer. No business coming here asking nobody what you should do. You need to be figuring out how you're gonna get that money to get out of there because there's no way I would still be there. That's it. And then another person is all of a sudden bringing his best friend in, and his best friend is a female, and she's acting like she has dominance over the household. I'm like, I wouldn't even waver and stuff like that. If that's who he wants to be with. If I love you, I'm gonna love you enough to set you free. If you don't want to be with me. But it's that thing when you go through that magnet. We have to all accept life for what it is. But I have learned a valuable lesson because there are some seniors and there are some women that say that the man, I can't even say it because it's horrible. It's horrible. And I kid you not, God is my witness. I would have to hook off, honey. There's no way. Mm-mm. There's a certain dynamic of foolishness that you can go through with a man, but honey, you would have to feel this, you would have to feel some strength come from me, honey, if you come fuck with me on a level like that. That is just ridiculous. I mean, to take basic stuff from people and make them feel like they can't have access to a shower and stuff like that, and you're gonna turn the water off? No, honey, you turn the water off around me, you are just asking for what you're gonna get, because there's no conversation after that. If I'm in the shower and you turn the water off, nah, there's no conversation. It's just about me getting my feet dry, my body dry. I'm covered for when 911 arrives because you're gonna meet your, yeah. Turn that water off while I'm in that shower. Cold too? Nah. Yeah. Yep. But what I'm reading is saving me because I'm like, okay, we all don't want to go through anything bad, but I kid you not, I'm really struggling on my own, trying to figure out why my mind could want something that my body doesn't want, but I have no control over that. And then there are times that you have to say to yourself, maybe God is leading you there because that is your person. Maybe you are meant to seal the deal on something. Maybe you're supposed to help me, but you have to say to yourself, okay, why? And you have to ask yourself. But what I'm asking myself now is when I get in my freaking front door, can I keep my phone unplugged for like 2 weeks? And the reason why I say my phone is because this phone number is that phone number. So there goes that. So there you go. So yesterday I was cooking my 4 pieces of chicken, and I felt in my nose what I'm feeling right now. And then I said, I feel like my nose is bleeding. And I'm sure you can hear the way I'm talking, but I'm trying to prevent something that I can feel. And next thing I know, a clot of blood came out of my nose and filled my mouth. So when I went to the bathroom and it was all over the sink. And I looked in the mirror, my mouth was covered and everything. But it's due to the process of me going through dehydration because of my overactive bladder, and I get tired of going to the bathroom. I drink less, and then but I'm trying to take a sip, every few whatever. But I'm not taking a sip soon enough. Put it that way. I'm just I have my over-the-counter card, and I still can't go into the pharmacy and buy myself some gas X, but I need some gas X. So I'm gonna see. I can't order it from Amazon because I don't have Prime. That's it. I would have to have ordered the gas X and then pay like $8 shipping. And postal is going up. United States postal is going up. So we need to figure out how much we're gonna be doing. But I know a lot of you don't really understand, and it's okay. But cash is very important. Very important. It needs to be handled with care. I am like looking at someone, few people that I know, they come around me and they're like, look what I got. Like someone recently, these bells and whistles, I got, and I'm like, and I'm just looking and I'm like, that is so nice, and I'm not flipping a cartwheel in enjoyment. And I'm telling you, she's like, oh my God, and this is real, and this is, oh, I was so happy. And I'm like, I'm just looking. And then a few minutes later, well, I need you to help me with this because I don't know. Well, I don't know. Unfortunately, I really, but I'll think about it. And if I remember, but I really don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's beneficial for this conversation. And then I had to do that a few times because I'm tired of the fluff. You don't know what the hell I know how to do. You can assume that I know whatever it is, but the same way you went out there and bought all of them reels, go pay somebody for their time. Because you didn't come in there and say, I give you $20 per hour of your time. Okay, well, what do you need? You didn't do that. What you're doing is invading my what? Availability. So I feel so bad because mm-mm. But I did have to explain to someone just recently. I don't want them coming around me with all of these shiny bells and whistles because those are your bells and whistles. I said, but at the same time, you're asking for people to help you all over the world by saying you can't afford, but you have all of these bells and whistles. And then when the person who's in care of your rent, says to you, well, you have this and you have, how will you have that? And yeah, well, now you want to get offended. No, don't get offended because this is what you're showing them. Absolutely. I'm going to, I was going to go today, but I realized today's Sunday and it worked out so perfectly because why? I really couldn't go anyway right now. Now I have access to the thrift store with the 99-cent dresses. When I move, I don't. I'm not. I don't have one anywhere near me that I know of. But I'm like, but it is what it is. And coming from there to there, there's no way I'm doing that for $1 dress. The math doesn't work out. Mm-mm, no. And I have not seen a gas station. So I'm like, okay, how much is the gas out there? Because everyone is understanding now gas, but your trunk, the weight of your trunk diminishes your tank faster. So I packed my bags, those zipper bags, and they're not too heavy, but those are going in my vehicle tonight, so I can get there, drop them off. But my bed is going in my vehicle, so I wanted to ask the neighbor last night if he could just help me, get some of that stuff downstairs in the vehicle. But I'm saying to myself, I do not want to ask him to do anything for me if I can't even pass him a $20 bill just to say, for kindness. But it is hard. But it is what it is. I did have my brother cash out my coins and that little bit of jar, and it was a little over $20. So I have a little bit under 10 left in that jar, but that's going in the car for gas. And then yesterday, someone that was supposed to pay me made it here. Unfortunately, I had to let them know that what you did wasn't kind. I said, you're really messing with my kindness now, and I don't feel. And then I had to put a little bit of words in there. I didn't really want to go there. I still stayed respectful, but I said, you're messing with my kindness now. And then that was the part because I wasn't going to reach out at all. I was going to ask. I wasn't going to say nothing, but I actually needed it. And I felt since I really and truly, um, and I felt like I was being violated, and that violation feeling took over my entire body, and I'm like, I felt a certain type of way. But surprisingly, the doorbell rang, and I didn't know who it was, and all I kept hearing was sorry, and I'm like, you don't have to say sorry. And I just felt a certain type of way, so I had to explain to the person, don't want anyone to take advantage of me. But it wasn't that, and it was okay. But I'm feeling so much better. I really need to eat, and I only want rice. I only want rice right now. Oh my goodness! Why did I just get some comments? Why? Oh my God! I'm loving. I keep telling people, y'all need to, when y'all suffer from depression and stuff like that, you need a YouTube channel. But I understand. Coral, I would like to say I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And yes, you said to let you know, so I'm gonna let you know right now. I am. You said let you know, so I'm gonna let you know right now because I know you're going through some things you're not really watching. So let me find, and then I have to reach out to Tina. Let me see. And I'm gonna say it. If you don't have my address at this point, please don't ask for it. Don't ask for it. If you don't have my address, do not ask for it. There is something that I'm dealing with, and it has nothing to do with a crime. Has nothing to do with anything bad. It's a level of mental understanding. That's it. And the reason why I'm using the term the way I am is because I got a call from maybe other people concerned about someone's stability of understanding my situation. So if you do not have my address, if I didn't volunteer my address, please don't ask for it because maybe at this point in time, you may be dealing with something and you're not ready to have my address. I didn't leave out of this apartment because I just happened to find an apartment. A violation came my way, and then the unit came my way, and then I had a police situation. So right now, I need to stay steady, and I need some level of. So if you don't have my address, I didn't volunteer my address. Please, in kindness, don't ask for it because I'm not. Other people are reaching out to me because it's a little bit of communication understanding and with what I did not say, I said enough to say that I wasn't feeling safe on this channel. So if if at all, and I mean that in the most respectful way I can, because I'm not feeling 110%. There are some situations where I can't get away from where I am and who I am, and like I said, I'm not hiding anywhere. But I need to know that my stability and my feelings are safe. But when other people feel, maybe, and I don't know why, then I have to stay okay. Stop, look, and listen. And I value everybody who will lean into my ear and say, you know, I was in here, I did a video, a very decent video, and I had a vision, and Tina said, Shay, please delete the video. I jumped out of my bed and went right to the thing and deleted. And then I said, you know, so I didn't even need her to message me nothing. The message was clear. It was in Tina's voice, and please delete the Shay delete. And I just went and jumped up out of my bed and I deleted the video. So I've been deleting quite a few of my videos because there are times that I am sharing with little I can without going any further. And I'm thankful that there are some people that have been able to be helped by stuff like that. But I have to, at the end of the day, protect myself. You don't know who anyone is. And you could have an investigator, you could have a detective, and it is already clear because there was a massive bust recently, and how they got majority of their information was from the person on Facebook. So I'm very, very lenient. And I always say nothing on social media is protected from going into the courthouse. So you need to be careful with what you say because I don't know how many times a person needs to hear the same thing 50 times before you grasp a little bit of understanding. And when someone's security is not 110% in their own hands, there's a level of unsteadiness you are always going to have. So I don't want to play in a sandbox with anyone. And I'm going to say thank you so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, whatever the hell comes with YouTube money. Because I kid you not, I am on my way. I can see something, but I also see something else. I can see the changing in my arms. That's why my arms were going up, because I'm trying to see something. I am really now. I need to find a space for me to be able to do my Tai Chi in my living room. There goes that.